Alright, I'm back for another video after a long absence. For some reason I'm in a video. I've been thinking about making videos again lately. Felt like making one, and I have another idea for one. You have to forgive me, I'm sniffing a lot this morning. I think I've been being bothered by allergies lately, because it's that time of year. But, so today's video is going to be on my security camera system and reolink security cameras. Now the thing is with this one has a watermark. I know that on the cameras you can go in the settings and take the watermark off. I guess I took them off on these two, but this one I didn't. Anyways, I could do like 6 hours of my videos. I tend to ramble on about all this stuff because I gotta go through my whole journey with security cameras, and because it's a lot of learning curve. I mean, I did a lot of research. I still don't nearly know everything, but if you're a newbie, now I went with reolink for several reasons. Once I learned how they are, they're a Chinese brand, like everything nowadays. I don't think they're particularly established. Some people will probably say they're junk. I don't know. People always got their opinions about everything. But I think they're really good. There's several things I wanted to touch on that are really great about them. First thing, they have this PC app here. See what I'm using right here in recording? This is PC. They have a PC app. Because the first camera I ever got was an Amazon Blink camera when I didn't know nothing about them. And Amazon Blink, they have their place in my opinion, but overall they're kind of junk. There's several reasons reolink is much better. The way the Blinks work is they work on like 2 lithium AA batteries. So they work fine, but they'll only give you they only record off of motion events, and you can live view them, but only for 15 seconds at a time, and then this continue button will pop up. You gotta hit continue again after 10 or 15 seconds. It's very fast. I think it's 15 seconds, but it feels even faster. So you can do what's called live view, which is drop in and just look at the camera, but like I said, and that's all on phone and tablet apps. It doesn't have any desktop app on Blink. That's why I love reolink. Look what I'm doing right now. I'm just sitting here watching these videos to my heart's content. Because these are powered cameras. They're not running off of batteries. So they're not worried about battery life. Now, caveat. This one on the upper right is a battery camera. But I'll get to that in a bit. And it will time out eventually. It has about a 5-minute timeout, I believe, on PC for some reason, and 20 minutes on the mobile. So if you were watching this on your phone or your tablet, you get 20 minutes. But even the only 5-minute time limit on this sure beats the hell out of 15 seconds. There it just went off. That wasn't. No, that wasn't 5 minutes. I don't think. Huh. I wonder if they changed it. Let me check. It may have been 5 minutes, I'm not sure. I've been recording for about 3:45 this time or so I may have had it up for a little bit before. We'll watch it together. It's on about the 4-minute mark, so it should stop at the 9-minute mark on my time. But these two are powered by wires, and they can go until the end of time with me watching all I want. And I love that. Now, your mileage may vary. You may want different things from your camera. But I like to sit at my PC, where I'm sitting at 90% of the time anyway, because I'm always playing games on YouTube, whatever I'm doing. And I like to be able to watch my yard, watch people walking by, whatever it may be. Just keep an eye on my property a little bit. And if I want, I can just have these up and forever, And I often think if someone was threatening my house or something, I could just sit back and watch these in my heart's content, watch my property, or whatever. So So that's one of the great things about reolink is they have a PC app. And I don't think, I'm probably wrong on some of this info, but some of the other brands that are good are like Eufy, makes a lot of good stuff. They're all Chinese, that I know of, except like Ring and Blink, which are Amazon owned. They all have their caveats and stuff, but as far as I know, none of them really have a PC. Well, it's not even called an app; they call it a client. They don't have PC clients, most of them, if any of them. I don't believe Eufy does. Now, there are caveats. Like, I have a Tapo brand little camera that I do like a lot. And you can set it up because it's like I think what they call an IP camera. And this is where my knowledge is getting a little fuzzy. You can set it up with various softwares, like as a super geek. You can set it up with VLC Media Player. Well, I have it actually. This is going to be funny. But I set it up with on this VLC Media Player in my attic. It's a little wired camera to watch my drain pan under my for now. This is my attic right now. This is my drain pan under my air conditioner air handler. And the only reason I set that up, see that water detector there? It's just to, I don't know. It's like way, like triple overkill, really. But I had some issues in the last few years with like water, and I'm kind of paranoid of water leaking out of this drain pan. When the main line gets clogged, I don't know if you know how drain pans work, but then this one gets hit, and then this one has a drain too. But if this one's secondary drain, if this one ever got clogged, it would overflow and it would mess up my ceiling, which has never happened. But just to be safe, I put a water alarm on there, and I even put this little Tapo cam up there, also kind of just for the heck of it. So you see how I have it set up there where I click this VLC player down here. And you see it's talking about, so I had to do all this research, not all this research, but some research on how to get the Tapo cam to work with which is a plug-in camera, by the way. I have outlets in my attic. They helpfully wired like one in there. And yeah, so now I just got it set up where I can double click this shortcut and it goes right to my IP camera. So it's not to say that other cameras, the point is can work with PC or be viewed on PC. They can, like this Tapo. But usually they have something like this where it's like not, I believe Eufy, they have like a web portal that you can view them on. But it's also like only one at a time and stuff. That's another thing I like about reolink. You can get this set up. We can have at least 4, and I think it might even be 6. I think you might be able to do some little settings and stuff and get like 6 on here. I'm not really sure where. But it's at least 4, as you see, because there's space for one more down here. You can watch all your cameras here. And I really like that, like a professional security system. So that's one of the advantages of reolink. Another thing is they have really nice video quality compared to Blink. They're generally like 2K, but the quality is very nice. This one, they're clear, fluent. That kind of depends on the model, but they have different brands. But this is like this is an example of the quality. And I kind of don't want to show the front one, but it's even a little better quality than this. This is the battery camera. It's not as good a quality. But this one's the best quality up here. But they're all good quality. They're like 2K quality. Let's see. Oh, they have different quality options. It kind of depends on the camera. This one now, and the same thing happened with my Blink. It gets real washed out either by this spotlight here that I have on the corner of my house, or in the daytime, like the sun. Once the sun comes up, it really washes the hell out of the picture. There's nothing you can do about it really. It's just where it's mounted. But you can see it's pretty decent video quality right there. It's about like 2K quality, I think they call it. It's not 4K, but it's pretty damn good. It's very much better than a Blink. Okay, this one went off because it's a battery camera. But now when you go in this like 3-way mode, they kind of downgrade the quality. They're all like, this one's on low, this one's on low, this one for some reason is staying on mid. I don't think you can change them. You may be able to. But since they're smaller, the quality doesn't really matter as much. But yeah, so that's that. Now I noticed they all had slightly different times. I'm not sure why that is. Like, I think it's just how fast the Wi-Fi is getting to my PC. I guess is a couple seconds difference. But yeah. So another great. So the Reolinks have good quality. They're cheap. They have a lot of options. The one thing I wish they did have is like a little basic camera, like a Blink Mini or the original Wise cameras for the inside, or the Tapo that I showed you on the VLC player. That's a really handy. I really recommend that Tapo. It's better than Wise and all those. That Tapo is awesome. It has a little magnet in the base. You can stick it wherever you want. It's like $35. The quality's great. It's just awesome. You can set up these routines with it to do all kinds of stuff. You know, for $35, I think it's amazing, and it's much better than like Blink mini cams or something. But there's or Wise mini cameras. The thing I love about the Tablet is just how versatile the mount is. It has a magnet in the base, this little base. And you wouldn't think it's that big a deal, but it's like so handy. Like the setup I showed you right there, I have it on the magnet because I think I put it on the bottom of the air handler or something. I mean, it's just so handy, to screw it to anything. You can almost always find something metal to stick it on, and it'll just stay there. And if not, it has these little screw holes in the base that are like super easy. Just put some little screws in. But yeah, another reason I really like Reolink is they don't. Once you get into cameras, you'll realize one of the games with them is that the companies will give you a certain amount of stuff free, and then they'll try to make you subscribe to some kind of monthly thing for like some features. Mainly like a cloud recording, which is nice because if you have security cameras, and you want to record footage, like most of them work off a motion system. So when they detect motion, they'll record for like 20 seconds or something. And but where does the recording go? Like with a lot of them will record to the cloud, which is good because for a few reasons. It's more seamless. It's nice when they just record to the cloud and you don't ever have to think about it or worry about it really. And another thing is, like, if you have them where they don't record to the cloud, this one just went to color because it's getting brighter. Interesting. This one should go to color in a minute, I would assume. But they do black and white at night and then color when it's brighter outside. You can get Reolink cameras that do really, really amazing night vision stuff, but I just don't have it. It's like starlight sensors and all this. You can get one that's like color in the middle of the dang night, and it looks really nice. I've thought about it a lot, but anyways. So what was I on about? I was talking about the subscriptions, yeah. So a lot of cameras like Blink and Ring, they'll try to, and eufy, I think, to an extent, all of them to an extent, and Reolink too, they'll have like a subscription service. It can vary how much it costs. I think Reolink is like $3 per camera, or it's like per month. So for like one camera, it's like $3 a month. But then it's like for $10, you can get up to like 10 cameras. So for like $10 a month, you can pretty much get all the cameras you want on there. And like, if you don't have experience with these cameras, you don't really realize, well, what do you want cloud for? Like I said, it just makes it simple to record stuff. Because if you're going to record footage, you can either manually record sometimes, or you can set it to record. Usually they record like motion. They'll record like 30, and you can set how long, like when it detects motion, it'll record for like 30 seconds, or you can set it to 15 seconds, or you can set it to like 45 seconds. Usually there's a limit, you can't set it to like an hour or something. Usually it's just certain like 15, 30, and 45 seconds or something like that might be your options. But so what do you record to? Like on these Reolinks, I record to SD cards that are actually physically on the cameras. Now the issue with that is, in theory, a burglar or something could just like steal the camera. No, blah blah blah. This is it's giving me the 5 minutes on the battery camera. So I'm gonna say no. I'll talk about that in a bit, but this is a battery camera, so it eventually will try to shut down because it doesn't want to use up all its battery. These are not battery cameras, so they won't do that. You can go as long as you want on them. So yeah, so in theory, like a thief could like bust in your house or something, and he could rip the doorbell off the wall, or rip the camera off the eaves, or whatever it may be. And then he's got your footage too, because he has your SD card. So that would be a problem, but there's various reasons I don't think that's really a problem. Whereas if it was cloud recording, the recording's in the cloud. He can take the camera or whatever he wants to do. The recording's in the cloud. It doesn't matter. It's already gone. It's already there. Well, so that is good. But first of all, you can subscribe. Reolink, I believe, I'm positive, has a cloud service. They all offer one. So you could subscribe to the Reolink cloud thing if you're that worried about somebody stealing your camera and stealing your SD card. So the way the SD cards work is they'll have a little slot. You buy one and put it in there. Like I think I used 64 gigs on pretty much most of them, and that's still plenty. And they'll handle it all themselves. They'll record, and then when they get to the end of it, they'll start overwriting the beginning. So, and they can hold I don't know, probably like a 64 gigabyte card, I think can hold 48 hours of footage or something ridiculous. That's a lot of 30-second motion detection clips. So it's all handled real nice and real seamless. And it records to your SD card. Although now that I think about it, I think it's fine. I was going to say, I was wondering if you need a special SD card because they overwrite it so much. But I don't think you do. I mean, I say that after having used SD cards in these at least this camera for 2 years now. So I think it's fine, but I can't remember if that's a thing or not, that you need to get a high endurance SD card. But I don't think you do. Because like I said, this one I've had for a year or two and I haven't had issues. And it's just something that just popped in my mind right then because of a Reddit comment I was reading the other day. But I can't remember what was said in it. Anyways, so you just put in the SD cards and they'll record to those. Now, like I said, first of all, if a burglar ever comes to your house, he doesn't know. I could have the Reolink cloud subscription, and these could be recording to the cloud, I think, as well as the SD cards. I don't know. So, a burglar doesn't know that. He doesn't know if I have the cloud subscription. He has no way of knowing. So to me, it's all just he has no way of knowing really what. Most burglars aren't even going to know, they just know this is a camera. They don't know what's going on with it, what brand it is or anything. So to me, plus to get the SD cards, you could get to them, but they're screwed in under hard metal, So, and to rip this camera off would be difficult. You could, but it wouldn't be easy. So to me, one thing I've learned the same thing with a doorbell. You can rip the doorbell off the wall, but it's going to be a pain in the ass, and you probably need a crowbar or whatever. So to me, or you could unscrew it or whatever. It's going to take a long time. You can't. Let me think. Can you unscrew it? No, you can't really unscrew it. You could. Yeah, if you know what you're doing, there's a little notch to put a little tiny tool in and pop the cover off, and then you could steal the SD card, I guess. It'd be a little easier on this video doorbell. But like I said, the thing I've learned about security that's key is that there's no perfect security. And it's think of your door lock. Well, if anybody wants to bust in your door, your little flimsy ass door lock's not going to stop them. Even your deadbolt. It can be kicked in easily. So what's the point of your door lock? Well, it's just to so no one can just walk in your house. You know what I mean? It's all a matter of degrees is what I'm trying to say. So the same thing applies to cameras. Are these perfect? No, it's possible somebody could steal your SD card and steal your footage and steal your camera, whatever it may be. It's just one more deterrent though, and it's just one more pain in the ass, and it's unlikely to happen. And like I said, if you're really worried about that, you get cloud sub anyway, which they could still break your camera or whatever, but I guess in theory you would have some footage of them in the cloud before they broke it or whatever. But anyway, so that's my point with cameras, though. You learn, like I started thinking of through all these things at some point, like, oh, how, like there's a thing where you want to protect each camera by having another camera kind of watching each camera, if that makes sense. Like you can sweep it around your house a certain way, like you put one at each corner, it's pointing to the next one, so that, long story short, every camera is being watched by another camera, kind of. You know what I mean? So that no one can really sneak up on a camera and rip it down without you seeing it. You know, if you were watching or whatever, or without another camera getting it. But I mean, when you start getting so deep into the weeds and that stuff, at some point you just got to realize nothing's perfect, and they're all just like added value. They're all incremental. You know, are these cameras perfect, perfectly secure? Hell no. Do they help? Yes. You know, are they a deterrent? Are they gonna help? Are they gonna make a burglar's life more difficult? Yes, and that's what matters. I wish this one would go to color already. I don't know what's taking so long. Probably 'cause it's on the back side of the house. The sun hasn't really gotten there yet. So yeah, you gotta have that mentality with anything. Like I said, any kind of security, at some point you gotta start thinking about it, and you realize nothing's perfect. Nothing's gonna completely. So back to the door lock analogy, but I put like these thick, what do you call them? I don't even know the name of them, but where your latch goes into, and I screwed them into the studs with like 3-inch deck screws, like they recommend. So if anybody's gonna kick in my door, it's gonna be way more of a pain in the butt now. Could they still do it? Yeah, but it's not gonna be like one kick and they're in. It's gonna be like they're gonna have to kick the hell out of it like 10 times maybe. So you see what I did there? I just bought myself time to like run and get a gun, you know, or whatever it may be, you know. So you see how, like, say, all safety features on a house are like that, and none of them is going to be perfect, but they're all helpful. So you got to take that. My point is, you got to take that mentality with these cameras too. They're not perfect, but they're helpful. Just like I said, when you start thinking about it, first you think, oh, I got cameras, it's all secure. Then you start thinking, wait a minute, somebody could just run up and rip the camera off the wall, or rip the doorbell off the wall. Then what, you know? Well, yeah, maybe, but, you know, like I said, there's the whole cloud recording thing, but also it's just like, it's just one more thing that, you know. And plus, I don't always think of it in terms of like somebody stealing. I just like to watch my yard sometimes, you know. You can see what's going on. I mean, that's security and safety too, you know. See if anybody's messing with your yard or whatever it may be, you know. And if I ever like woke up in the middle of the night and went to look at these cameras and they're blank or something, then right away that might tell me something could be wrong, you know. That in itself is like a warning to me, you know what I mean? So it's all, and I would get you could get some little cameras inside your house too and cover every room with them. So if anybody busts in any room, they're going to be on those interior cameras, you know. You can just go around and around with this stuff. It's all just helpful, you know. So what was I blabbering about? So the reolinks, they're really great. How much I paid for them? Oh, this one is a PoE camera, and that's like a big deal in the security camera world. I didn't know what it was at first. But basically, it's just that everything goes over Ethernet cable. It's called PoE, stands for Power over Ethernet. So you're getting your data and your power over Ethernet. It's just like a few millivolts or whatever it is. It's a low voltage. So the great thing about it is it means you don't have all these codes, I guess, for like if you actually string a power wire to a camera, in theory, you know, it's a fire hazard. But with the power over Ethernet, that Ethernet cable is like pretty much no fire hazard. I mean, I read a post about it once. It's like theoretically possible, but like realistically pretty much impossible for it to ever start a fire. So you can just slop that PoE cable anywhere you want. You don't have any codes really to worry about. You know what I mean? It's just an Ethernet cable. It's almost inert. You don't have to worry about fires and all this. So that makes it really nice. Or codes. Like if you string a power wire somewhere, there's all these codes to follow about it. In theory, I think people don't really follow the codes when they wire up like security camera power wires. They probably just drill a hole and put but there's different codes. Like you're supposed to, if you're running a power wire, you're supposed to staple it within 12 inches of the end point, and you do this, and like I said, people probably don't follow those when they're wiring up something simple like security cameras, but in theory, you've got kind of a fire risk whenever you involve like a power cable. Well, like I said, with the Ethernet, power over Ethernet, it's nice because that Ethernet, you can just drape it all over your attic, do whatever you want with it. It's not really a fire risk. But it also powers the camera so that it doesn't run off of batteries, which gives you endless, and it makes them more powerful too, interestingly. Like these battery cameras, they work off these PIR sensors to detect motion, and the battery ones typically have a 30-foot range. And the non-battery one here has a 100-foot range. That's a big difference. That means the PIR can detect people out to 100 feet, maybe like here or something. And this one's 30 feet. It probably cuts off like right here. Like even if someone was at the very end of the house, it probably wouldn't catch them because it only has the 30-foot PIR range. This one has a 100-foot range, so it's just better. Way better, that's something they don't really tell you. It took me a while to learn that. So the wired ones are just better because they have more power to play with, The battery ones are always worried about conserving juice more than anything else. So they have, like I said, this one keeps prompting me, hey, do you want to keep watching? Because we don't want your battery to run out, type of thing. This one works on the doorbell wiring, and it works too. Now, it knocks out your doorbell. Your doorbell doesn't work anymore because, like, you use your doorbell wiring, but you have to jumper them together to get the power, to get enough power, I guess. So then that knocks your doorbell out. Some wired doorbells continue to work with the doorbell, I guess. But if they do that, they're not drawing power off of it. But I actually don't mind it at all. I mean, yeah, I love this setup because I didn't have to run any wiring. I just used the existing doorbell wires and they power it. Like I said, you have to jump them, but that's 2 seconds. And then how you get a chime is either sometimes these do a pretty loud chime even outside where you'd probably hear it. But if you're that worried about inside, there's a few things. They come with a chime that like connects to the camera over Wi-Fi or something. I don't know, some kind of connection, wireless. And you just plug it into any outlet in your house, and it's like a speaker, and it'll ring from there. It's awesome. To me, it's, doorbell chimes themselves are kind of archaic now. Who really wants that in this? I mean, the nice thing about the plug-in ones, you can put it in any room or whatever you want, And it's louder, I would say, than my old doorbell chime. My old doorbell chime is just in one fixed spot in the hallway. You can't really hear it, which is good because I don't want the doorbell to wake me up, to be honest. But yeah, if you wanted, like if you're expecting somebody, you can put the doorbell chime on the reolink video doorbell. Like I said, it comes with its doorbell chime anywhere. It's nice, really nice, and it even, I saw it works with Alexa. So I didn't try it, but I have Alexa all over my house. You can make it ring your Alexa like a chime too, like your Alexa speakers and whatever. So I mean, it's really cool. I haven't even messed with that. Probably never will, because I don't really need to. But because, like I said, I don't really want it waking me up, but I might someday just for fun. But yeah, so you can so the chime is not an issue. Can't believe this one still hasn't switched to color yet. Might need to be rebooted to go to color or something. Anyway, so I was going to show here. I had brought up some of these cameras. Well, which one is which? This is the one in the back that's the Argus 2E. See, it says I had purchased it. So that tells you how long I've had it. Now, my setup, some other things to note on this. These are cheap. I think this one was like, this was like $70 with the solar panel. I got mine. That's the thing. It's a battery camera, which the blinks last really long on batteries, but they have poor quality video, and they only have the 15-second live view and stuff like that. So these to me are kind of better. They're rechargeable. Most of them come with rechargeable lithium-ion batteries, like everything nowadays. But an even better system is to put up a little solar panel here. That's what everybody does. And then you put that up and it will charge. Now, it doesn't like give, it's kind of, you got to think it through. It doesn't like give continuous power like a power cord. But what it does is your camera draws from the battery. When it's in use, it draws down the battery. And then over time, the solar panel will recharge the battery, kind of trickle charge the battery. So it just kind of keeps you, the camera still has the limitations of a battery camera, unfortunately. Like, you can't just sit there and run it forever. But on the positive side, you don't have to, like, if you just had, you could just get this without the solar panel, this reolink Argus 2E, and just put it wherever you want, you know. But then you'll have to take it down, like, I think about every month, and you know, hook it up to a USB-C charger, like a phone charger type thing, and charge it. You know, it'll last maybe a month, I guess they say. I haven't tried it. Maybe a month or two before it runs out of battery. So that'd be annoying. So that's the advantage of the solar panel. You put the solar panel up and it'll keep charging the battery for you, and you'll never have to take it down. And it's worked really well. The great thing about it, I was going to talk about it. So, and then I also got, to make it even easier, I got a gutter mount for it. Because how you mount it is another thing. Like, see, if you use something like this, you're screwing it into wood, like your woodies. I don't like doing stuff like that. I mean, I will, but... So I got a gutter mount, which is even cooler. Just search for them on Amazon, like a gutter camera mount or whatever, and it just does exactly what it says. It holds both your solar panel and your camera, and it just mounts to the gutter and like clamps down on the outside of the gutter, and that's it. You're done. The great thing about it is it would be like incredibly easy to move around. Like if I ever want to move it to another side of the house or whatever, I don't have to unscrew it from the eaves. And I don't like tearing up my eaves by screwing a lot of stuff into them. You know what I mean? Even if it's just like one camera, I don't want a bunch of little screw holes in there. If I can help it, you know what I'm saying? So that makes it great. I didn't know that at first, but yeah, make sure you research like gutter mounts if you have gutters and stuff, and you can put the solar panel and the camera on the same gutter mount, and it couldn't be easier. And then just not bolt it, but like it has like a clamp type of mechanism. May require a little fiddling like mine did, but it'll clamp onto your gutter, and you know, it doesn't screw into your gutter or anything like that. That would put holes in it, obviously. It'll clamp on the outside of your gutter, and there in your gutter, it's all pretty light, so it won't weigh down your gutter really. And the amazing thing is, I was just thinking about it. Like, I thought, I would have assumed there's no way that's going to hold up to like these heavy storms we have in East Texas, and heavy thunderstorm winds and hail sometimes. And it has held up amazingly. Like, it's still running. Like, that kind of amazes me in a way. Like, I bought this July 26th, and here it is almost 2 years later, and that thing is still running out there. Like, you know, it would be well within its rights to like, alright, it's been running for 2 years almost, it finally gave it up, you know, or the camera went out, or the solar panel got knocked off the gutter. They all still work, and you would think that solar panel would blow off maybe, or whatever. It doesn't. It's all... Like I said, it's been amazing. And the thunderstorms we get around here can get some hefty winds, you know. So yeah, amazing stuff. That is still working. This is the one I have in the back, like I said. It has the disadvantage of it doesn't have the endless live view, like I said, and all that. But it has like a 5-minute live view, which is kind of plenty. And at least it's very easy. Like I said, I could put it on any part of the gutter I want. I could, if I wanted to move it to the front of the house, to a different side of the house, it'd be pretty easy because it's all self-contained on that one mount, and I don't have to worry about pulling it down to charge the battery or anything like that with the solar panel. I will say the solar panel makes it a little ugly and stuff, you know, like, and it draws more attention to it. One thing about security cameras, I noticed people kind of wary of them. They don't really, like, when people walk around the house and they see like the cameras in the front or whatever, people don't, they kind of give it the evil eye or something. They don't really like that. So just to say that if you put the solar panel, this one's in the back of my house, so nobody really sees it. So, but if I was to put that in the front, it would bother me a little. Just it to be very conspicuous, basically, because of the big old solar panel and stuff. Just to keep that in mind, but it's not a big deal. I'd still do it if I wanted to, So yeah. And here's the RLC 510A that I have. It's not this one with the antennas. It looks like this. That's the one in the front that's wired. What else we got? These are incredibly cheap too. Look, that's 47. They're like 40. A lot of times you get them on sale or whatever, they're like $40, and they have really good like 2K video quality. The PoE ones are really cheap and awesome. The bad part is wiring the PoE. It's a pain in the ass. Now, I make it more difficult than it really is, but it was a pain in the ass to wire that Ethernet through the... But now that it's done, I can put any PoE camera there forever, I mean, I had to run the PoE through my attic, and I had a mishap too, and I ended up hitting a power wire up there, what I call Romex, and dang near fried myself and everything else. That was my stupidity, though. But yeah, so like I said, I made it a lot worse than it was. But it is a decent hassle to string PoE through your attic. But once it's done, you got that point of PoE forever, and you can buy cheap, awesome cameras forever to mount there. So yeah, like I said, this one's just a real basic. They make way better ones, I believe. I haven't really found anything too compelling though. Like, they make better ones, but some of them like rotate and they make a lot of noise, I heard. And like I said, that's another one where I just don't want to make the neighbors think I'm like super creepy or something. I mean, and they make like 8 megapixel, like supposedly higher quality, but some of the reviews I saw said like this thing has the same quality. Just because the other one has more megapixels, it's kind of all marketing. So yeah, the 510A is fine for me. Here's just another look at the 510A that I have in the front. Look how cheap it is. It's crazy. You can usually get it less than that. And then here's the doorbell. It's a little more expensive, but here's one that has free person detection. They all come with person detection pretty much, but if some of them try to charge you a sub fee to unlock it, like Blink, which is ridiculous. That's another great reason I love reolink though, because they don't. Yes, they have a subscription, but it's like strictly voluntary. A lot of the other ones will put like really good features like person detection behind the subscription, which I think is ridiculous. Now, reolink makes a few different... Here's a picture of the chime I was talking about. This little part just plugs into any outlet, and it's the interior chime. And they're just linked up, and when somebody presses that goes off. Like I said, even the outdoor chime is... You could probably honestly get by without any chime. You'll still hear it just from outside. So it's a pretty loud chime outside. But yeah, that's just... And I also saw, like I said, you can do Alexa and this and that. This is the PoE one. I don't know why they're calling this plug-in. It's not entirely clear instructions, but you can use your existing doorbell way. That's what I did. And then this one's battery, which would be convenient in a way, but I'm sure you don't have unlimited live view and everything like I like. And I still am getting annoyed that it will not go color here. There, finally went color. This one will show you the battery. Let me see. Storage, blah, blah, blah. Battery. This claims it's at 73% right now. Probably because I've been steadily watching it. And also it doesn't have, never noticed it to be that low before. It normally always says 100. So that bears watching. I'm sure once it gets some sun here and whatnot, it'll go back up. This one, yeah, it's a little, because it's a battery camera, it's not like normally connected. You have to click on it and it'll connect. It takes it a little delay and all that. It just has it's not as smooth because it's all battery limitations. They're just different. But once it has very good video quality like this. Wait, this is not. Okay. I don't know what it's doing. Sometimes I think it just loses. Okay, there it goes. Loses Wi-Fi for whatever reason. This one does too. I've noticed it has only like 2 bars of Wi-Fi signal, just because of where it's at or whatever. But yeah, that's nothing else to really say. I love these reolink cameras for the reasons I talked about. Mainly being the PC client, a proper PC client. Just freaking awesome. They also, of course, have the Android and iPhone. I'm assuming I don't have iPhone, but they have a great Android app. You can change all this, There's a lot of caveats with cameras that you can't really know until you use them, but yeah, it's a good. Here's this one. Let's put it on clear there. See, it's got pretty dang good video quality itself, especially for a battery camera. And then for playback, if you go here, very good quality playback. It's got this. It's not the best. It's a pretty janky PC app. A lot of people have mentioned this. It's pretty, but it works. These are all like events, and then here's where you can. This is motion. This is persons. So you click this, and it'll show you all the ones where detect a person. Here's all the ones where detect a car. See what I'm saying? We can go to. Let's see. We could go to see how the battery one like disconnects itself, and then you have to click it to connect it, and then you have to click it again to actually view it. It's just because it's a battery camera, it's not like always instantly available. Not a big deal at all. And these will record. You can, it records little clips. If you get into cameras, you'll learn about that stuff. They'll record clips to your PC, I believe, too, or you can set up to. That's another thing with the whole cloud versus SD card discussion. I'm pretty sure you can set these up to record to your actual PC that's on the network. So that'd be just another point where the robber would have to get your PC too, and you'd have to know that it was on that the footage was on the PC too. Where's the? Oh yeah, here's the date. I was like, where's the date? Because there's not much happened today. See, here's all the little events that happened that day. And I usually just sort them off for people because that's all I care about. And then, okay, like here, it'll show you it started this because there's a person up here. And that's it. It'll show you, like I have a lot of people that walk this trail around my neighborhood. Just watching this person. Looks like a woman. She's walking. But I notice a lot of people kind of look kind of apprehensively at this camera. That's why I was talking about how cameras are a little. I used to have it pointed more up the hill, but I kind of pointed it down more. If I really wanted to, I would just point it at this, because one consequence of like this one, I don't have push notifications to my phone because it catches like every person walking out here. Guess it's that 100-foot detection distance I was just blabbering about. So like if I set notifications, I'll get bombarded with too many notifications. Be like people walking by, people walking on this road and stuff, and I don't want all those. I don't want to be constant every 5 seconds. So if I really wanted to, it'd be a better idea to or it might be a good idea to point it right up down more. I mean, I can just tilt the camera down more to where it's not. Well, you can set it also where you gray out certain motion detector zones and I won't detect motion in those areas. You can paint over them. So I've done that before too, where I just gray all this out so that it only detects what's coming in here. So I wanted to touch on one other thing. This video has been 45 minutes now. Kind of like, how useful do I find these cameras? Because part of me is kind of like, I don't really use them that much. And that is true, I don't. But I can also honestly say I do like having them. And what they're good for is maybe not what you necessarily think. But one of the main things I've found that I like them is if I'm expecting somebody. So I know they're going to pull in here to my driveway, right? I'm expecting, usually the only people I'm expecting are like relatives or delivery. Like if I'm getting delivery, like Walmart grocery delivery, I get that sometimes. So if they're going to deliver, they'll text you like, hey, your driver's almost there, or something like that, like 10 minutes till they get here. So I'll just pull up my little camera here so I can see exactly when they pull in. And I'm nosy. I like seeing who it is. You know, if it's a guy or sometimes it's even a cute girl, I like seeing on my camera, hey, a cute girl is delivering my stuff today, or whatever it may be, you know. Or, hey, that guy looks like kind of a thug. You know, I don't know. It's just, or, hey, it's a middle-aged black lady, you know. It's just interesting to look at your drivers and see who's doing it or what kind of car they're driving, all that kind of stuff. Some of them have pretty nice cars. It's like, why are you like delivery driving? Anyways. But yeah, it's just like, so maybe I'm playing a video game in my living room, right? And you can pull this up on, I use my Chromebook, so this PC app, this is for Windows, so it's not going to work on Chromebook. But you can just use the Chrome, it supports Android apps. So you just pull up the Android app on the Chrome, and it works great. So I would just pull up, pull up the feed here, and then I can just watch. And that's another point where I love the fact that I can just leave the feed on as long as I want, and it never stops. It's endless, you know. Like going back to live view here. So, yeah, I can just pull it up, and so now I see whenever they come and pull into my driveway. It's the same thing with anything. If I'm expecting somebody, I like that. That's one of the main things I do with it is if I'm expecting somebody, I'll pull it up. And then the feed to watch my driveway, basically. Or maybe my video doorbell, whatever. Well, I just now got this video doorbell. I had a Blink, but it wasn't really good for live view. So I'm not sure how much Alexa integration there is with the video doorbell. Well, I'll find out more about that later. Because with the Blink, you could sort of set it up where if you had like an Echo Show, when somebody presses your doorbell, it'll open the feed and show them on the Alexa Show. But it was kind of unreliable and slow. And I don't know. I haven't tried reolink or mess with it much on Alexa yet. But so yeah. So that's where I found like the main. The other thing is just it's interesting to just keep an eye on your property. That's it. That's mainly what I use it for. Just spot watching my property. You know, just if I'm sitting here at the computer, I want to see what's going on. All right, maybe I heard something outside or whatever it is. But it's not so much like super security or anything like that. It's just more casual, like just watching stuff, you know, and it's good in that aspect. And you can be somewhere else, like you could be at the Walmart walking around or whatever you're at, and you can look at this feed over your data. So that's kind of cool too, though. And like I said, one good thing is with the doorbell now, since normally it doesn't catch a lot of people, I can set this to person detection and get my push notifications, they call them. So whenever a person is caught by this camera, now it could catch some of the neighbors here, but I don't believe that it will really, because so far it hasn't. And even so, the neighbors are not going to be walking along here very much, maybe like once a day or something. Whereas if the other camera, it catches people walking those paths too much, so it's always pinging your phone, and so the notifications get annoying and whatever. But like I said, simple fix would be to just point the camera downward. And you don't even have to do that. You can just gray out I forgot I've done that before. You can just take this off of the motion detection area. It won't detect motion here. But when I did that, I found I do like to people watch. And what I'll do sometimes is I'll just go and look at past days and see who's been walking by. That's it, And unfortunately, I couldn't figure out a way to make it like record the people, but also not notify me of them, if that makes any sense, in a certain area. Because I want them to notify me if a person comes in here. But I don't want it to notify me if a person comes in here, but I would like it to still record them. So that, like I said, every so often I'll go and just look at some past days and see just who's been walking by, Like I see the same people a lot, and sometimes you see new people or whatever, I mean, I don't know, it's not a big deal. I see the same one lady walking for a long, long time now. But, and then I see this little school girl, maybe like 10 or 12, that walks every day. So I know she walks, the school's right over here, the middle school or whatever. It's walking distance, really. So I know that's what she's doing. I don't know if all kids, I don't know if I'd let my kid walk there, because, they got to cross a road and everything. It's a little bit dangerous, maybe. There's like a school crossing person, I think, up there, but yeah, obviously, she walks to school every day, and every day I'll see her at like 3:40 or on the camera footage, if I look on those days, walking through here or whatever, coming back from school, and in the mornings going to school. So yeah, just that. So like I said, at one point I cut all this off so it wouldn't record, so that I could get the push notifications only when somebody comes in my yard, basically. But then I find then it won't record like the random passerbys on the walking here, walking through this path. I find I kind of missed it. I kind of like being nosy and seeing who's walking here. So sometimes, it's not like I do it every day or anything close. Maybe once a week, or just maybe even once a month. Just whenever mood strikes me, I might just check out what's been going on in the cameras, basically. And so yeah, that is a thing that I don't probably should. And as far as the backyard, pretty much nobody ever comes there that I don't know about. I've never seen I could set, I think I have push notifications for that one, but there's kind of no point, because I've never seen like an unauthorized person in my backyard. Hey, there's birds going here. Interesting. I didn't know anybody use that. I don't think they really use it per se, but maybe they do. You can kind of zoom in with your mouse wheel. Now they make all kinds of fancy cameras, the pan and tilt ones. They make ones that can rotate, and I don't think they make battery versions of the rotating ones. They probably use way too much power. But ones that can go point up, down, rotate around, zoom in, all this stuff. But like I said, I kind of don't want. I haven't messed with one of. There's one of my Blink cameras still after all this time. Piece of junk Blink cameras. I used to think they were cool when I first got them. Now I know how limited they are. But yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, but I probably wouldn't. I was gonna say, I don't know if I would really have one of the pan and tilt and zoom everywhere cameras, just because people would because I heard they make a lot of noise when they pan. You kind of thing. And I just don't want people thinking I'm any weirder than they already do, probably. And, I don't know, it'd be just weird. I don't think anybody else in this neighborhood really even has cameras like I do. I mean, everybody has doorbell cameras nowadays, but I don't know of anybody that actually has them out on their eave like I do in my front yard. So, that I've noticed. I don't pay attention anyway. But, so yeah, that's it. So that's all about reolink cameras, how much they cost. The video doorbell, I already showed you all that. What they look like. A little bit about them. I didn't go into too much detail, but you can see that's a very nice video quality, especially for a battery camera, because a lot of times they have a little bit lower quality. I think the FPS, the frames per second on this is lower. It's like 50. So if you see somebody walking on it or something, they'll be kind of choppy. This is but for video, just video, this looks great. I think the frames per second on the front camera is a little better because it's powered. Maybe 30 frames per second or something. I don't know. So when you see somebody walking, it's smoother on this one, probably. Not a big deal. So yeah, these are my cameras. I just got this one, so it's nice. And why I like reolink. See, this one's always blown out because right here, and there's nothing I can really do about it that I've figured out. In the middle of the day, it's the same. I thought it was my blink camera actually was like, had like a lens smear or something. I was always like, I need to clean that off because it would always be like blurry here. But now it has the exact same blur on this reolink. So I know it's really just that the light source is always here, so that's actually kind of cool looking. But anyway, the light source is always here, so you're never going to be able to, you can't get rid of that like washed. No camera can handle this like shade here and bright sun here. They just can't. So you always get this kind of like this here or whatever. I mean, it's still definitely usable and everything, but even at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever, it's still going to be like blown out compared to this dark foreground. It's just hard for the camera to handle. But anyway, so yeah, that's my little video about cameras.